Hey, I'm Kurt Thompson, and it is Monday evening, February 17th, 2020. And in this video, you're going to get my reaction to the top two contenders of the Scooby-Doo Trumpet and Trombone Challenge. Who are they? You're going to find out now. First of the two submissions is that tied. Submission 6, that's Tim. He's a trumpet player in Kent, Washington, actually where I used to live. And he was pretty much jamming on the trumpet part. Let's take a listen. Now I'm going to be stopping and starting with my critique. All right, so he's going to go first. Here we go. Oh, you hear that high F? Yes, ma'am. That's right on the button. Here's Tim, submission 6. One of two people to tie for this challenge. Not bad, pretty clear. Little too short on that one, Tim. You chipped the first note. And that actually should have been up an octave to sound better. Not bad. Pretty good. Decent. Out of tune. Hold on. That note was flat, Tim. Let's go back and check it out. And for you trumpet players that are watching, you should know that almost always when you play fourth line D on trumpet or top space E flat, it almost is always going to be flat. Almost always. Even if it's just a little bit flat, it just almost always is going to be flat. So maybe you got a $30,000 Monet horn that takes care of that. But if not, you need to always be aware of that you're D. And so when you're coming in on a phrase, you definitely don't want to be out of tune, because that kind of makes the interval from whatever you're going to seem a little bit screwy. So let's see if we can catch Tim on that again one more time. Where was he on that? We got to go back a little bit more. But up until then, Tim, you're doing good. Couple of stylistic considerations that I pointed out. Decent. I think you could have had the background music up a little bit, Tim, because all I'm hearing is pretty much you and not so much of the background, and that's not exactly what I had in mind for the challenge. Maybe the people that are listening, maybe they're not trumpet players. They want to hear what you're playing along with. Let's hear that one part again on the D. Nice high E. Right here. That's flat. That was also flat. So I've been fighting that with that on my horn lately. It seems like it's getting worse. I would like to play D to high D with first valve, but even I'm fighting that, Tim. So you'll see it if you go back and watch mine. I try to do it open a couple times. That helps, a little bit better in tune. But anyway, yeah, it's kind of the good fight with D's on the trumpet. They tend to be a little bit screwy for most people. Okay, the phrase is da la da da da. Again, you were flat on the D, but when you hit the A, you chipped it or you cut it off short. You went da ra. Ba-da-da, and that's actually not what we're going for. We're going for the continuity of the phrase, Tim. It's one phrase. You want to play lyrically, right? You're the soloist. Da la da da da. And then you're going da. So that's just a pointer for you. You kind of chopped it up a little bit there. And you had a little blip and chip there when you went down. So a couple of mistakes. Okay, nice. 2 thumbs up, Tim. You're just in high school, right? I'm here to tell you, we can pull out some 45 and 50 and 60-year-old pro trumpet players that probably would not have done it as good as you just did, right there live on the spot. I mean, that's what I'm here to tell you. So you're a little bit rare, and it's uncommon in general for most professionals to be able to do that well on the gliss up to a double G. And then, I don't know how old you are, but I'm assuming you're probably 17, 18, 16 in high school. So you're doing phenomenally well, ahead of the curve on that. You just bullseye that double G, came out really, really nice. And again, if you happen, I know you're in the Seattle area, so there's some places down in Pioneer Square. I used to play down there all the time. You know, in Pioneer Square, there's a sign that says hotel, it says rooms, 75 cents or something like that. The New Orleans Creole Restaurant, I don't know if they still do it. I used to have a gig there every Sunday night. And then I played a place in Tacoma called Funny Bones or T-Bones. I played all over Seattle. And but anyway, my roadside attraction, I've subbed in there. Jazz Police, I've subbed in there. And a bunch of just a whole plethora of stuff that I've played all around that whole area. And what you're going to find if you go check out some of these people is there's going to be people older than me, you know, older than 35. Yeah, more like your parents' age or something like that. And you're going to find that the trumpet players, even the older seasoned ones, won't be able to do as well as you just did on that double G. Let's continue. Nice double G. You bullseyed the double G at the end. You just split it right through the uprights. And then I like the way you held it on a little extra, just so if anybody was in doubt that you hit that double G, if it was accidental, you held it on enough to show people you were going for it. And that was indeed the real double G. And then you had a nice fall off. So all in all, Tim, let's just see, that's pretty much it. And then we have the end of Tim on his submission 6. All in all, I would give Tim, if I had to give him a grade, out of high school kids, I'd give him an A+. If I had to give him a grade out of the world's professional trumpet players, I'd probably say maybe an A- to probably a B+. And now we're back with the other contender, the other person that tied. Actually, this person got a little bit more percentage of vote. And on trombone, I thought he did pretty good. Just like Tim in submission 6, Damon had some very good points. Had a couple little things that I will critique. And so let's go ahead and take a look at Damon. Now, we're not necessarily comparing apples to apples. We got a kid in the first one, and we definitely have an adult, I'm guessing probably, you know, like me, like what, 35, 36, you know, right around that range. So anyway, definitely a full-blown adult versus a kid, which is kind of a little bit of unfair advantage. But let's go ahead and take a look at the other half of the tie, the two people that tied, which was a Damon in submission 8. Trombone, yes. Took it up an octave, that's okay. Good dynamic there, Damon. Good sound, good articulated pops on that. Nice pops. I love that about what you're doing. A little timid. Let's go back a little bit. So it might have said piano in the music. I don't know. I'm not going to take a look at it right now. But even if it did, that's too piano, too soft, too timid, I guess is the best way to say, Damon. So let's go back and see what you did on that. You're coming in on the melody, and so in the studio, I bet when they recorded this, they probably had several trombones, so it was a solo section, which meant that, yeah, you didn't really have to go as loud as you might have done in a solo like what you're doing. But you definitely came in just a little bit on the weak side, a little bit timid, and so you would probably lose some points from that in real life. So let's go back and check you out. I'd like to see you get a little bit more confident with more aggression and just come in, like you're really doing a solo. So anyway, let's listen to that again. That section where you come in with the main melody. Yeah, you're right on it. Let's go back and listen to that again because, I did that myself on the trombone version, but Damon, you got a really awesome sound up there in the upper register on trombone. And I wish I had that kind of sound. I mean, you just got a nice resonant, brassy core to your sound up there. It really sounds good. And from what I can tell, you're doing the same type of deal as Tim. Is you're just recording on a cell phone or a camera that doesn't have a good mic. That's what it seems like. Check it out one more time. It sounds good right up here. But a little out of tune when you came back down to that last note. Da 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 da. Da, 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 da. You're a little bit sharp on that, but we're going to keep going. Yes, good sound. Very good sound. Yes, nice pedal, Damon. Very good. So Damon, that last note sounded great. It's the double F. Is that what you would call it on trombone? Leave a comment below if you play trombone all the time and up in that register, and if you know exactly what the notes are called. We have the F above the staff, the bass clef staff, which is what 2 ledger lines, and it sits on top of that. So that's the F. I would call that a high F. And then an octave higher, you would think that would be a double high F. That's what I would call it. And then in my version, I actually played the triple, or I just called it the super F. So, but maybe someone who plays trombone all the time, and I don't play trombone 100% most of the time, it's trumpet, right? So leave a comment below if you are indeed a seasoned pro or teacher or an advanced trombone player, and you know exactly what these notes should be called. But Damon really did a good job on that last note. We'll hear him again on the what I would call like a double high F. The only problem is you chipped the note, which is quite noticeable, Damon. And so we have to deduct some points on that one. But as soon as you got it, it sounded great in tune, and you had a nice glissando fall off on it. Let's see if we can hear that again from Damon on submission 8 at the very end of Scooby. Yeah. Nice. And the way that Damon plays, it sounds like he's been around the block. Again, he's like me. He's just a little bit on the other side of 35. And I assume, Damon, you're going to be like me some point in the near future, hitting the big 4-0. Hit the big 4-0. It's like you're looking over a cliff, right? Yeah, that's what happens, when you're not 20-something anymore. So, but Damon's obviously a seasoned player, and maybe even be a pro. I mean, you let us know, Damon, if you actually play in some ensembles, and if you're a semi-pro, which I consider someone that has a day job but plays at a very highly skilled and advanced level, maybe even make some money on the weekends or for gigs or whatever, that'd be like a semi-pro. Or you're a pro, which means you don't do anything else. Maybe you teach a little bit of lessons and then you're gigging and stuff like that. But anyway, let us know where you are, because you sounded very good, and I bet that you're an asset to whatever ensemble that you play in. So I hope you enjoyed my reaction to the 2 people that tied for the Scooby-Doo Trombone and Trumpet Challenge. Tim, submission 6, and Damon, submission 8. Now all we got to do is just figure out who the winner is going to be. It's close. If you go back and listen to my description, you need to be using these. good headphones. If you're just listening to the challenge on your phone speaker or your laptop speaker or a notepad speaker, you're not going to really be able to capture all the essence that I'm picking up through these. And these are good headphones, AKG. And when I got these guys on, I'm hearing a lot of stuff that you obviously are not hearing if you're just listening on your cell phone speaker or just listening on to your laptop speaker. So you need to have a good headset plugged in to really hear the subtle nuances that I'm hearing. So anyway, if you've been liking this challenge, it's pretty much over. Really, we got to decide the winner now between these two people. Submission 6, Tim, and submission 8, Damon. And if you like this, go ahead and click maybe it's right there. There should be a little, like a red rectangular thing says subscribe. Hit that. And then there might little bell notification, little symbol might come up. Go ahead and hit that so you'll be notified every time that I upload something. And the reason that you'd want to do that is you're trying to get better on your horn. I have a lot of tips and strategies for all brass players. And then there's also some entertainment value here. There's some music videos and some different songs that I do from time to time. So you're sure to get quite a lot out of this channel. Go ahead, subscribe, do this, murder that like button. I mean, murder it. And then share this video with a bunch of your friends and people who get a kick out of this type of stuff, the challenge.